My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. I have a Glock 29 segment on my H.A. Second Amendment channel. That's growing. It's over 4,000 subs now. It's like 4,200. Let's get it to 5,000 and then to 10,000. I have an upload almost every day. Glock 29 10mm. Very powerful, compact. Check it out. I'm at the range, trying out all different types of firearms. If you enjoy the Second Amendment or you appreciate it, definitely check out. If you like gun channels on YouTube, definitely check that out. Subscribe to it. It is below. I have a Heckler & Koch segment, a Springfield Armory 1911 45 ACP, whole bunch. I have a whole bunch of videos that you will love, and I try to upload them every day. This is a really, really interesting article. I'm going to read you now in the Washington Post, but President Trump the White House has told Republicans in Congress to get ready. If Ruth Bader, so this it was in Politico, it was in all the publications today. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, God bless her. I have nothing bad to say about Ruth Bader Ginsburg other than I disagree, not bad, but I disagree with her on the Second Amendment. But I'm like Sticks when it comes to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I actually have a value system that says a lot of the things she stands for, I agree with. Some of the things she stands for, Second Amendment issues, I disagree with. I wish her the best of health. May she live to 120 years. I'm not hoping for, God forbid, anything. I'm simply saying that it looks like she's going to retire. The White House also agrees. It looks like she's going to retire. I think that Amy Coney Barrett, a woman who has 7 children, who is a very accomplished scholar of the Constitution, Notre Dame Law School, accomplished professor, a person that would ignite, David French says, I don't agree with him on foreign policy oftentimes, but he's a great writer at the National Review, would start a culture war. What does he mean by that, or what do I mean by that within the context of Trump picking Amy Coney Barrett? Democrats would actually be forced to look at themselves in a mirror. They would be forced to say, okay, how on earth are we going to try to destroy this woman when we are the party that is supposed to be the party of women's rights? How do you do that? Then they're going to go after her religion. Dianne Feinstein said something very offensive. The dogma lives loudly within you. That's very offensive. Who's Dianne Feinstein to say that Amy Coney Barrett couldn't differentiate between her personal religious beliefs and the Constitution? She's supposed to interpret the Constitution. Trump is president. If you didn't cheat Bernie Sanders, sorry. I mean, the whole thing on the left is, oh my God, he gets a third pick. Well, you cheated Bernie. Okay, then you blamed Russia for informing us. Don't cheat next time. Next time, don't cheat for a criminal who's also racist. Hillary Clinton, I'm talking about. Next time, don't cheat for someone who had to have the FBI cover for her, and that wasn't enough. Then the guy wrote the Comey letter. Why? Because, there was classified intelligence on Anthony Weiner's computer a week before the election. Then she loses after helping frame Trump by paying for the Steele dossier and CrowdStrike. The whole Mueller probe is a complete fabrication. And So yeah, he gets his third pick. Sorry, he's president. He's president. What are you going to do? You cheated and you elevated Trump, and we know that from the WikiLeaks DNC emails. But this is a really, really interesting article in the Washington Post, and the article is titled, Trump Picked the Wrong Judge. Now, this is before all the allegations with Kavanaugh. This was written in July of July 9th, 2018. This was when Kavanaugh was just this unassuming, not middle of the road, but, a pick that everyone, both left and right in Congress, seemed to be okay with. And then the Democrats, like they usually do, fabricate. We don't know if it's true, but we don't know if there's no evidence. So when there's no evidence of something, then you probably don't want to make the claim. So you can make the claim fine, but if it happened in a galaxy far, far away, there are no witnesses, there's no location, there's no time, there's no nothing. Sorry, you can't destroy someone's life. I don't care how heinous the allegation is. You can't destroy someone's life without any evidence at all. But they did that. Now they would be forced to try to destroy and disparage and hurt and harm Amy Coney Barrett, a mother of 7 children, who is a Catholic woman. Good luck trying to win swing states. Good luck trying to win Michigan or Wisconsin or Ohio or Florida. Trump has to pick Amy Coney Barrett if Ruth Bader Ginsburg decides to retire. He must do that. He must do that. He has to. Because if he decides to pick anyone else, a man, it's game over. You replace a woman with a female, one other woman, and sorry, if she's conservative, again, don't cheat Bernie Sanders if you're so upset, and then blame Russia. They did this to themselves. Now, I'm glad Trump is president. I'm voting for him in 2020. And I should have voted for him in 2016. But I wrote that he would have won a fair election, and he would have won. Bernie Sanders would have won a fair election, a fair primary, and then he would have won had he been the nominee. But the Democrats don't want that. Democrats cheated and lost. So that's why Trump's going to get his 3rd Supreme Court nominee. If Ruth Bader Ginsburg retires, which the White House thinks that she will eventually. This is interesting. David French. There was a moment in the early afternoon of July 9th when conservatives contemplated the delightful possibility that they might witness the best possible version of President Trump, the man with the will and a flair for the dramatic that would allow him to be bolder than the average Republican president. The best version of Trump would have nominated Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. We should get the best version of Trump if he has to nominate a Supreme Court justice. Would another Republican have the guts to put forward a nominee who would so clearly inflame the culture wars? Would another Republican president shatter GOP nominee mold by selecting a mother of 7 kids, an outspoken Christian, and a graduate from a normal non-Ivy League law school? The base motivating, electrifying pick was right there in the palm of his hand. Then he went establishment. This is interesting. This was before the whole, galaxy far, far away, he's the most horrible person who's ever lived, Kavanaugh. He chose a man that any Republican president would have nominated. Again, this is why I disagree that Trump cannot be safe with this pick. He has to go full steam ahead because anyone he picks, they're going to say is the worst possible choice known to man. But they can't say that about a mother of 7. They can't say that about a mother of 7. They would be completely dismantling the fabricated image that they've worked so hard to deceive voters of. Democrats have this manufactured, fabricated image. Oh, well, they only care about conservative people of all different backgrounds. Liberal people, not conservative. It's the whole, Democrats care only about image. So if it's Amy Coney Barrett, who's a woman, they're probably going to try to disparage her. They're probably going to try to denigrate, her accomplishments, undermine her in some way. But what they'll be doing is undermining themselves. So you're talking about a woman who represents a great many women of all different backgrounds. There are Christians and Catholics of all different backgrounds, all different races, all different ethnicities. And Democrats would be hurting or trying to harm or disparage all of them if they went after Amy Coney Barrett. That's the beauty politically of Trump picking Amy Coney Barrett. No, she can't single-handedly overturn Roe v. Wade, and she wouldn't. That the Supreme Court won't do that. It's not just settled law; it's just part of the culture. They're not going to overturn. They're not going to overturn that issue. That's an issue that just gets the Democratic base. They rally the Democratic base, but that's not going to happen. She'll be conservative. Trump is a Republican. That's like I said. Don't cheat Bernie, and then blame Russia for losing. Make no mistake, there's a lot of conservatives. There's a lot for conservatives to like about Kavanaugh. He dissented from the D.C. Circuit's opinion upholding district's ban on semi-automatic rifles, so that's a good thing. I'm a Second Amendment advocate. I have a Second Amendment channel. He has written powerfully in his opposition to excess of the administrative state. Okay, so proper separation of power. He has been solid on free speech and religious liberty. Okay, good. In many ways, he's the elite. Okay, so, but truth be told, Kavanaugh's record isn't okay. So, if the dogma could live loudly within her, as Senator Feinstein famously told Barrett, who sits on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit at her confirmation hearing last year, and she could ascend to the Supreme Court, then she would quite possibly become the conservative folk hero equivalent of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It's not just that Barrett is qualified. She is supremely qualified. It's that conservative Christians see her as qualified and a person they felt like they know. In many ways, her life story was their own. They, too, belong to communities of believers like People of Praise. They, too, went to schools like the University of Notre Dame. Trump had right in front of him the judge who could be populist and principled, the person who could galvanize the base and be an originalist judicial bedrock for the next 30 years. The president blinked. In the coming days and weeks, you'll see conservatives rally around Kavanaugh. That didn't last too long. It didn't last long. Well, kind of. The judicial nomination wars will settle into their post-filibuster norm. It will be easy for Democrats to largely vote in lockstep. See, this article was written before the elevator hoppers in the Cackle Screech, Operation Cackle Screech. Kavanaugh's credentials will make it easy for Republicans to do the same. In the coming years, he will make the court more originalist. He'll certainly write at least some opinions that make conservatives stand up and cheer, but roughly 9 p.m. on July 9th, for a critical part of Trump's base, the cheers for Kavanaugh were a tad forced. There was, for the first time in Trump's judicial conflicts, a palpable sense of an opportunity lost. So this is a very, very, very interesting article. This is a very, very, very interesting article. And why do I say that Amy Coney Barrett is the best choice? I say that she's the best choice because people already know who she is. She already has the name recognition. She has already been victorious against Democrats who tried to disparage her because of her religious beliefs. See, if Trump, and I disagree with President Trump regarding what he said about a judge in the 2016 election, so that was wrong. I think that you can separate your personal religious or your background from an interpretation of the Constitution or of law. That's obvious. But see, when a conservative or Trump or a Republican goes there, it's outrage on the left. When Dianne Feinstein goes there, just yet another example of hypocrisy. The dogma, Feinstein says, the dogma lives loudly from within you. What an offensive thing to say. What an offensive thing to say. But that is overlooked because it's about power. And I understand the argument. I get the argument that you don't want to go full steam. You don't want to go too you don't want to go too far to the right or too conservative. You want to kind of, reach out to Democrats, meet them halfway, get more of a centrist or whatever. because Amy Coney Barrett could potentially hurt 2020. I get that argument. There's a lot there. That argument has merit. However, what is a problem is that Democrats have already the ship has sailed. That ship has sailed where there was a time in American politics where Republicans or Democrats could meet each other halfway, and they had pretty much Tip O'Neill would go drinking with Republicans or whatever. That time is no longer here. Now it's like complete battle royale. They power at all costs. Look what the Democrats did. Like I said, they not only did they cheat Bernie Sanders, they got him to promote the myth that said that he was a Russian ploy to hurt Clinton. That's where we're at now in terms of a society, in terms of politics. And what they did to Kavanaugh, they will do to any Republican. You're going to have, elevator hoppers, go, go, go. You're going to have the same thing. Operation Cackle Street, you're going to have the same thing. So I really, really think that you need Amy Coney Barrett because she is like the ultimate foil to Democratic Party hypocrisy. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Check out, ladies and gentlemen, my Second Amendment channel. Thank you so very much. Hit subscribe. Tell your friends about this channel and my Second Amendment channel. Thank you.